So take me to the first country that you actually like went to outside of Haiti and stuff, which is your home country. We jumped ahead and stuff. I'm trying to take us back on the journey and stuff like that. So what was the first place that you actually went to that as an adult that you all right, I want to work hard and do this seafood process and stuff, stack the money and just cause you be gone you in Singapore right now and
Yeah,
you've been there for a minute.
yeah. I've been all through, man. Vietnam, Singapore, Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia.
Hmm.
I've been moving around Asia. I would say the country that you asked me about would be Mexico. I
Okay.
actually had to end up getting a place down there. I had a house down there for a while, so that was like my inspiration to. That let me know that I was able to travel. That's when I was working with Walgreens. If we go back in the story, that's when I was working with Walgreens. I ended up
Hmm.
renting a house down there in what was it, Tijuana, Mexico, and I had that
Hmm.
house for a couple years. So that was like my fire that gave me the inspirations. But that's when I knew I could travel worldwide. When I lived in Mexico and I had the place in Mexico, I was like, I can go to other countries. I know that I can do this on my own. That's when I did it on my own. That's like officially me traveling on my own without friends or family. I made that decision on my own to do that one.
So how much funds did you take with you that you I can do it on my own? What was the number that you had? Say for instance,
No,
10 racks, I'm good. I can do this. What was it?
it was no number with that one because I was still working. I got that when I was working with Walgreens. I was working with Walgreens in the States. A lot of
Hmm.
people in California, they'll live in like Tijuana, Mexico, Rosarito Beach, Mexico, and
Yeah,
they'll
I think
commute
it's
to
on
work
the
in like San
border.
Diego, California, or Los Angeles, California.
Hmm.
So I didn't really, it wasn't no number for that. I was constantly, I was like a 9 to 5 person like anybody else. So I was getting paid. So then after that, I end up, that's when I met the guy I am Iowa. When I was
Hmm.
working in Alaska, I met the guy I am Iowa, yeah. The YouTuber, the guy from Africa, from Kenya, Africa. And he told me, hey man, I want to come out here to Mexico to do videos. I was just watching his channel as a subscriber from the channel. And
Hmm.
then I wrote him, I was like, yo, I got a place out there, you could come out, I mean, I host you, whatever, whatever. And then he came out, and then he was like, I was taking him around, showing him Tijuana because he was scared to go to Tijuana because the drugs, the cartels, the hoes, how I
Hmm.
go in Mexico. And I took him around Tijuana, and at that time Tijuana was kind of hot. And I took him around, and he was like, "You ever thinking about being a YouTuber?" And then I told him like, "Yeah, yeah." I told him like, "No, I ain't never think about it." He was like, "You got a good personality. I think you can do it." He opened my channel that night, and then he was like, "Yo, you should work in Alaska one more. You should work one more year." He told me, and then full time YouTube.
Yeah, so that's how
That's
it
how I
came
did it.
about.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But when I went on the road the first time to answer your question, I think I had like 20,000.
Oh
I
yeah,
went with
you
like
was
20
ready.
something thousand.
Yeah, you was ready.
Yeah.
You
So I
definitely
saved
ready.
it. I saved that up to to do it.
Hmm. So how was the cost of living down there in Mexico? Was it cheap?
Mexico at that time was cheap, man. The place I was staying was like
Mhm.
$500 a month. Um, I mean, if you party, if you drinking, if you doing other stuff, I mean, I'm gonna say if you don't go overboard, you can get away with like 2,000, 3,000 a month, maybe 3,000 comfortable a month.
That's
If you're
good.
going out having a good time and stuff like that's how much. Anything over that, if you got 4 or 5,000, you golden, you golden. And then I
Right.
started going to places like Belize. I used to travel all through Mexico. Then I went to Belize and Guatemala, and I was just going. After that, I was going everywhere. After that, and
Yeah,
then
I noticed.
I just did full time YouTube. So then I just relied just on the YouTube money at that time. After
Right.
a while,
So
other money burnt out, and then I just used the YouTube money, and the YouTube was doing good.
yeah, I was literally getting to that. So basically, you had 20,000, and you went to Mexico. So you started the YouTube channel. I think it was 2019. I think it
Yeah,
was.
2019. Yep, you
Uh-huh.
right
So
on it.
yeah, I'll be studying, man. I'll be doing this,
Yeah.
man. So in 2019, you left Mexico. You went to Belize.
Mm-hmm.
How was Belize going? Culture shock, norm, like cost of living. How was it?
It was a little culture shock because I didn't know too much about Belize. Belize is like one of them countries people don't really know that much about. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm thinking it's similar to Mexico because it's right there by Mexico. So I'm thinking it's like the same as Mexico. And I get there, and the only reason I went down there because I had a friend of mine. He had got deported from LA. A good friend of mine. He got deported, so I went to go see him. And he's like, "Come to Belize. You won't like Belize." And I went there. Belize is like a mixture between like Mexico and Jamaica. If you can get that in your head, that's Belize. Because they speak English there with like a dialect, like a Jamaican type dialect, and
Broken
then
English
they
type.
broken English, and then they listen to that reggae music, and then they actually got a lot of black people that live there.
Exactly.
So
That's around the time you met Ace Live, right?
I met Ace. Yeah, around that time. Yeah, around that time. I met Ace around that
I
time.
remember seeing one of those videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how was the cost of living? Like, is it expensive? Like, because I've been
No,
looking
it's
at Belize.
affordable. It's affordable.
Mhm.
Belize is a little bit more expensive because of I don't know why, but they know how to stretch your money. It's a little bit more expensive there, but you can get a place for like 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 and on up. 2,000, whatever, on up, and then that money is 2 to 1. But our money stretches there too because
Mhm.
if you got 100 US, you got 200 Belize dollars, so the money stretches.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's a little bit more expensive than Mexico. I'm gonna tell you that it's kind of pricey.
When you traveling and stuff like it, what got you into doing the hostel way instead of the hotels and the Airbnbs?
Because it's cheaper. It's a
Mhm.
lot cheaper. And when you're traveling to these different places, you want to spend more money, like outside and moving around. When you come back to the room, you just going to sleep, man. And the one thing about the hostels that people always overlook, and then a lot of black guys, or as far as black people, we always look down on hostels, is because sometimes you're sharing rooms with people, but you can get a private room there. I stayed in hostels on this trip. That's $20 a night in a private room. That is a regular hotel, my own bathroom, my own everything. But it's just a type of place that to me it's like a travel. It's a big travel community there. The hostel people, the backpackers, they travel the most. They go to most places because they go cheap, so they can last longer on the road. So they can tell you, where the good hostels to go, where the good places to eat, what countries are safe to travel to, which countries are dangerous, what clubs to go to, what restaurants to eat, where you should buy your clothes, how you should get your flights. They know everything about traveling.
Because
People in the hostels know
cheap.
everything about traveling. Even if you go and your money right and you just go to like you get an Airbnb or you get a hotel, I recommend you Google the hostels in your area, go there, go by there, get something to eat, get something to drink, and just politic with the people in the hostel. You'll be surprised at what you'll come up with. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear right there. Like just being with strangers and stuff. Because if you actually look at it, like the places like we were just talking about Belize, but right now you're in Singapore. So if it's $20 a night, that's like almost $600 a month. Like at that rate, you can probably like rent out an actual like apartment for 600. Which you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you bouncing around. So say a hostel, I'll be in a hostel, I can stay in one for like 10 days. And then while I'm in that hostel, they'd be like, hey, yo, if you go down to this city or this town, it's popping. So then you just check out of that hostel and you go somewhere else. Now you put $600 or $700 on an Airbnb and you find out some better stuff is happening in another town.
Oh
Either you're
yeah.
gonna commute back and forth or you're gonna lose your money.
I get what you're saying. It's like,
Yeah,
I never did the hostel route or none of that. So
yeah.
it's
They
basically
cover more ground.
it's more convenient because you can just boom, you
Yeah.
can spare 20, you just bloom instead of being locked in and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
get that. So
And you can cover more ground. You can cover more ground in a hostel. But people say, when you 30, you 40, you 50, 60, you shouldn't stay in a hostel. But I met people from 18 to 80 in hostels, bro. From 18 to 80, like, and
yeah.
then some people be lonely. Another thing people don't tell you too, the real travelers that really travel, sometimes you lonely on the road because it's hard to get a family member or a friend because of people's schedule. And you know how work is in the States. So usually when you be on the road, you by yourself. I'm in Singapore. I don't know nobody in Singapore like that. I met a couple people now, but I don't know nobody. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're in a hostel, you constantly around people. So they come your family, they come your friends. You know what I mean? You guys travel together. You find somebody like, yo, you want to go to this town with me? You want to go there? You make friends there. It's not as bad as people make it seem.
Yeah, I noticed that though, man. Like I said, you be on the road a lot. You know, that is a good, cheaper way to do it because you might get tired of it. So, how do you go by like determining the next country you go to? Because you done been a lot of places. You went to Belize, you went to Colombia. You know, you you've been a lot of places, Philly. So, like, how do you determine like I'm gonna go here next? Like, is it like you see it on YouTube, or it's just like this is my bucket list place I want to go to? Like, how do you go by determining that?
I go on the vibe and I go on the people. And then I like to go to places. I'm big on going to places that other people don't go to. Like people look down on me going to Singapore, going to Malaysia. Cause I was in Thailand, I was in Pattaya. So, that's like the Mecca for like all the black brothers. So when I was like, yo, I'm leaving, I'm going to Malaysia, like it's nothing in Malaysia, and Singapore is too expensive. So I pride myself trying to go to different, I try to be like the white boys, man. I try to go anywhere and everywhere and open myself up to the new things. You know what I mean? Back into the channel, the rhythm is true. Hit the screen, join the flight. Come along.